I have a problem that is solved on the board, and the question was asked by one of the student, and I am solving the same thing over here. I'll read out the problem that is given to me, and then we can discuss about the solution of the problem. Anyhow, if you want to read the problem by yourself, in the description I have typed this question. Okay, so you can read the problem or the question that was given to me. Okay, and let us try to understand what the question is or the problem is, and let us find out the solution for it. Okay, now I'll read out the question. A continuous beam of ABCD 12 meter long is fixed at A and B and is loaded as shown in the figure. Analyze the beam completely if the following movements take place simultaneously. First, the end A yields turning through 1 by 250 radians. Okay. Second, joint B sinks by 30 mm downwards. Third, joint C sinks by 20 mm downwards. The beam has constants like I, 38.2 into 10 raised to 5 mm raised to 4, E 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. So this is what the problem that was given to me. There are some of the points that you need to focus on. First thing is that the figure is already given to you. I have drawn it on the board. You can see this is your problem that is given to you. Okay, then let us try to understand the other parts of the problem. First thing that you need to notice is the end A yields turning to 1 by 250 radians. Okay, let us understand this sentence, what is given to you. End A yields means what? Usually the end A is rotating. Okay, the rotation that is created at this end, though this is fixed. Now you might be thinking that if it is fixed, it cannot undergo any kind of rotation. Okay, until and unless it is mentioned. If in the problem it is mentioned that there is a rotation that is taking place even in the fixed section, fixed joint, then you need to account it. Okay, so in the given problem he has said that end A, joint A is yielding 1 by 250. Okay, so the theta value is given in terms of radian, which is equals to 1 by 250. Okay, first thing that you have to notice. So write down theta A is equals to 1 by 250 separately. Okay, next there are two sinking supports, that is joint B and joint C. Joint B is sinking by 30 mm and joint C is sinking by 20 mm. So you just remember this, and I am going to explain you this figure that I have drawn in order to explain you the sinking of support or settlement of the support, and how to understand this sinking and use them in the slope deflection equations. Okay, let us do all of that later. Okay, next the I value and E value is given to you. I value that is given to you is 38.2 into 10 raised to 5 mm raised to 4. This is given in mm. As we know, all our values are in terms of meter. Both the length of the beam and the load that is given here is also in terms of mm. So I would like to convert this I value in terms of mm. Okay, obviously the moment that we calculate is also in terms of kilonewton meter. So let us convert this I value in terms of meter. Now similarly, there is another constant which is given to you, which is E. This is the material property. I is the geometric property. So E value is 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. Again we need to convert this in terms of kilonewton per meter square. Okay, so let us look into I value. I value is 38.2 into 10 raised to 5. This is mm raised to 4. That's why I have to divide it by 1000 raised to 4. Now 3.82 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter raised to 4 is the I value. So now I have converted the I value, which is in terms of mm raised to 4, to meter raised to 4. Now going with E value, E is 2 into 10 raised to 5 is there. In order to convert this in terms of kilonewton, I have to divide by 1000. Right, 2 into 10 raised to 5 divided by 1000 will give you in terms of kilonewton. So this is in mm square, so we need to convert this in terms of meter square. To do that, I have to multiply by 1000 square. So 2 into 10 raised to 5 divided by 1000 multiplied by 1000 square will give you E value in terms of kilonewton per meter square. Okay, so E value is 200 into 10 raised to 6 kilonewton per meter square. Now just for the simplification sake, what I have done is that I have multiplied E and I value and I have written here. So E multiplied by I will give you 764 kilonewton meter square. Okay, once we have converted the units of A and I, now we can start solving the problem. So before we go and develop the slope deflection equation, what we can do is that we can find out the fixed end moments of all the elements. So member AB is there, which is loaded by 8 kilonewton. The length of member AB is 5 meter. According to that, you can calculate how much is MFAB and MFBA, which is 8 into 5 divided by 8, right? So it will be 5. Now similarly, we can solve for BC member, which is 4 into 3 square divided by 12 will give you MFBC and MFCB. Similarly, for MFCD and DC can also be calculated. Okay, so I have solved all the fixed end moments for all the members. So once you solve all of this, the next step is to develop the slope deflection equation. But before you develop the slope deflection equation, what we'll do is we'll try to understand what are the effects of sinking of support, which is B and C, and we'll also try to understand what is the effect of theta A while developing the slope deflection equation. Let us first go with the sinking of support, then I'll be explaining you the impact of theta A in the slope deflection equation. So first is, as you can see, I have drawn two of the figures. Okay, so this is the first figure where I am trying to explain the theta A. This is the second figure where I have explained the sinking of support or settlement of the support. So first what we will do is, this is our original beam. Okay, let us consider this is the beam which is before settlement, and this is the beam which is after the settlement. Okay, now B shifts by theta B. I just exaggerated the vertical scale. Okay, right, so B is changed to a new position called as B dash, and C has changed to a new position called C dash. Okay, now B has settled or sinked to a depth of 30 mm. Okay, as he has also explained that it is sinking in the downward direction, right, or it is settling in the downward direction. So I have considered both of them settled in the downward direction. There can be a chances where it can settle or it can sink in the upward direction. Okay, so but most of the question they tell you that the sinking used to take place in the downward direction itself. Okay, anyhow, so support B sinks by 30 mm, support C sinks by 20 mm. Okay, now what you need to observe is this red dotted line that I have drawn. Okay, this red dotted line is representing the elastic curve in case of settlement. Okay, now first let us divide this entire structure into two parts. One part where you can see that the near end and far end behaviors. Assuming that this is my near end, A is my near end and B is the far end. So with respect to near end and far end, near end is at higher elevation, far end is at lower elevation. So in that case, I told you in the previous videos also, you have to consider delta B by L itself. You have to use this as positive value, which is delta B by L. Okay, now again, if you go to joint member BC, okay, if you go to member BC, the member B has synced to B dash, right? So this is the new position that you have to consider for B. Okay, now B dash and C dash, as you can see, B is at the lower elevation, C at the higher elevation, B being the near end, C being the far end. If the far end is higher than the near end, then the value of this slope will be minus delta divided by L. Okay, now going with member CD, again C being the near end, D being the far end, again C dash is at the lower elevation and D is at the higher elevation. Henceforth again here the slope value will be minus delta by C. Okay, this you need to understand. Okay, that's why I told you to divide this entire portion, entire continuous beam into two parts. One part where near end is at higher elevation, and another part where near end is at a lower elevation and far end is at a higher elevation. So in these two members, in member BC and CD, near end is at a lower elevation, far end is at a higher elevation, as you can see. But in case of member AB, near end is at higher elevation and far end is at lower elevation. You remember this. Based on this, we try to formulate the value of slope. Okay, slope of these lines. Okay, so member AB will be delta B by L, member BC and CD will be minus delta by L. Okay, now once we understood whether the delta should be positive or negative, we identified how to recognize the positive delta by L values and negative delta by L values. okay, which I have explained earlier also. Now next is to understand which delta to be substituted. Okay, now with respect to near end, which is A, and this is the far end, which is B dash, it is sinking by a depth of 30 mm. Okay, now I am calling this 30 mm as delta B. Delta B is 30 mm. So when you are calculating the slope deflection equations for MAB and MBA, you have to substitute delta L by B. Okay, remember this. When you are finding out the slope deflection equation for MAB and MBA, you have to use delta B by L. Okay, and which should be positive itself. Okay, I have explained earlier why it should be positive. Okay, now next going to member BC. If I go to member BC, as we know, member BC, we will try to understand what is the difference in the elevation between B dash and C dash. Okay, so if delta B is 30 mm, let us focus on delta C. Delta C is representing the difference of elevation between C dash and D dash, or the sinking of C dash. Delta C has sink to 20 mm. Okay, so the difference in the elevation between C and C dash and D is 20 mm, right? So the difference between the elevation of A and B dash is 30 mm. So if you want to find out how much is the difference of elevation between B dash and C dash, you can find out by this. 30 minus 20 will give you 10 mm. So let me call this value as delta B dash. Delta B dash is representing the sinking of support B dash and C dash with respect to each other. Okay, so B dash is sinked 10 mm greater than the C dash. Okay, you remember that. Okay, this is how we calculate the delta BC. So delta B is representing the difference of elevation between A and B dash. Delta BC is representing the difference of elevation between B dash and C dash. Delta C is representing the difference of elevation between C dash and D. Okay, now with respect to the member, we are going to substitute the value of delta values, right? For calculating MBC and MCB, I am going to substitute delta BC. Okay, and you know why minus symbol is. Minus symbol is because near end is at the lower elevation, far end is at higher elevation. Now going to member CD, as you can see here, the difference of elevation between C dash and D dash is 20 mm. So I am going to substitute minus delta C by L in the equation while calculating MCD and MTC. Okay, you remember this. This is how this works. Okay, now once you have understood this part, what is the value of delta by L to be substituted in different slope deflection equations, we are going to develop the slope deflection equation now. Okay, I am going to solve 4 slope deflection equation, as you can see here. Now first is MAB. MAB is equals to MFAB plus of 2EI by L. L means LAB. Okay, into bracket 2 theta A plus theta B minus 3 delta by L. So in this equation you already know MFAB. MFAB is minus Y, which we have already calculated. 2EI divided by L. L is the length of the member. Length of the member is AB, which is 5 meter, and I have substituted here 4EI theta A divided by 5 plus of 2EI theta B by 5 minus 6EI delta B divided by 5 square. Okay, now let us focus on these two terms. Why 4EI theta A by 5 exists? Because he has given us here theta A is 1 divided by 250, which is given in the problem. Okay, henceforth, earlier whenever we used to solve the slope deflection equation for MAB, if the A end is fixed, what we used to do, we used to consider theta A is equals to 0. But now we cannot consider theta A is equals to 0, because theta A is equals to 1 divided by 250. We can substitute that into this equation. So here I have just simplified the equation. Okay, so 4EI theta A, because I already know what is the value of theta A, so I have calculated 4EI theta A divided by L. 4 into EI value is 764, divided by length is 5. Okay, and it is multiplied by theta A. Theta is equals to 1 by 250. From this I have calculated how much is 4EI theta A divided by L, which is 2.44. And as you know, if there is 4EI theta A by L moment that is been applied at the far end, also there generates a reaction, right? So the moment that is carried over to this side will be half of this moment, right, which is equals to 2EI theta A divided by L. So again, substituting EI value, theta value, L value in this equation, I have calculated how much is 2 EI theta A divided by L. Now these values will be useful for you while you are substituting in MBA and MAB equation. Okay, see here. So 2 EI by L into 2 theta A will be equals to 4 EI theta A divided by 5. So we have already calculated how much is 4 EI theta A divided by 5, which is 2.44, and I can substitute in this equation over here. Okay, now as we know EI theta B is unknown, so it will remain same. Now going to 6 EI delta B divided by 5 square. So we can calculate how much is 6 EI delta B divided by 5 square. We know already how much is the value of EI. We can substitute that there, and we also know delta B value. Delta B value is 30 mm. So you have to convert this in terms of meter. 30 divided by 1000 you have to do. Okay, then you substitute that. So 6 multiplied by 764 multiplied by 30 by 1000 divided by 5 square will give you some value over here. Okay, now after simplification of this equation, this is what I get. So minus 8.06 plus of 2 EI theta B by 5 is my first equation. Okay, I hope this is very much clear to you to solve the first equation. Similarly, you can solve for MBA. MBA is equals to MFBA plus of 2 EI theta A. Earlier it was theta B, now it will become 2 theta A, because this equation is 2 theta B plus theta A minus of 3 delta by L, right? So likewise you can write the equation for this. So 2 theta A divided by 5, which I already calculated, you can substitute that in here. Next 4 EI theta B by 5 minus 6 EI delta B divided by 5 square, which is similar to this. Okay, you can substitute back in this. Okay, after simplification MBA is, this is what I am getting. Okay, now once we have solved MAB and MBA, we can go for solving MBC. What is MBC? MFBC, which is minus 3. MFBC is minus 3 plus of 4 EI theta B by 3 plus of 2 EI theta C by 3 plus of. Okay, now here it is not minus. Why it is not minus? Because here the value of delta by L should be substituted as minus delta by L, right? I hope you know this. So minus delta BC by L means what? Delta BC is 10 mm. Okay, it is 10 mm. So 10 mm divided by 1000 divided by length is how much? 3 meter. Okay, so after simplification, this is what I get: 6 EI delta BC divided by 3 square. Okay, so delta BC is 10 mm. 10 mm divided by 1000 you have to substitute, because this is in terms of mm and the equation that you have written is in terms of meter. So convert this delta value in terms of meter and substitute in this equation. You already know what is EI value is. EI value is 764. You can substitute in that equation. So after simplifying, this is what I get: MBC is equals to this equation. Similarly, we can try for MCB also. So solve for MCB. MCB is equals to MFCB plus of 2 EI theta B by 3 plus of 4 EI theta C. Sorry, this is a small mistake over here. Okay, we should change that to 4 EI theta C by 3. So plus of 6 EI delta BC divided by 3 square. So after simplifying, this is the equation I get. Now if you look at the equation MCD and MDC, MCD is equals to minus 3 plus of 2 EI by 4 into bracket 2 theta C plus theta D minus 3 minus of 3 delta C by L. So as you know why we took minus delta C by L in this equation, so minus into minus it will become plus. So if you equate it with 2 EI by 4, which is outside the bracket, so you know how to simplify this: 6 EI delta C divided by L square, which is L square is 4 square. Now by substituting and simplifying, this is what I get: MCD value will be 2.73 EI theta C. Now similarly for MDC also, you can substitute the fixed end moment, and you can substitute the length, and you can substitute the value of delta C and solve the MDC. MDC will be 8.73 plus of EI theta C by 2. Okay, once you solved all the slope deflection equation, MAB, MBA, MBC, MCD, MDC and all of those equations, next thing is to develop the equilibrium equation. You already know how to develop the equilibrium equation. We have the moment, summation of all the moment at B should be equal to 0, summation of all the moment at C should be equal to 0, which means MBA plus MBC should be equal to 0 and MCB plus MCD should be equal to 0. I have substituted the equation of slope deflection equation of MBA and MBC into the equation, MCB and MCD into the second equation, and after simplifying, these are the two equations I get. and solving those two equations, I have found out the unknown values. Unknown value are ei theta b is equals to 0.145, ei theta c value is minus 4.677. Okay, once you get the unknown values, what you do is that you substitute back into the slope deflection equation and you resolve the end moment values. As you can see, the end moment values which are given to you, MAB is minus 8, MBA is 0.836, MBC is minus 0.836. Like this, similarly we have solved for all the ends. Okay, so these are the solutions that I got. I have verified with the solutions that was given to me by the same student, so they are very close. There is small change in the decimal values which you can ignore. Now this problem I have solved by slope deflection. I would like to solve the same problem using the moment distribution in the next video. Okay, I want you to solve the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram for this given beam, and after solving the reactions for this continuous beam. Okay, thank you.